So hi, welcome to the Good Noise Podcast with Warren Franklin. We're going to ask him some questions today. I'm going to start. So what inspired you to start making music?
You know, I was thinking about this earlier. I remember the very first time that I wanted to be a singer, or that I knew that I wanted to be a singer. I was roller skating at a place called Skate Co. in my hometown of Rockford, Illinois. Mm-hmm. And there was a song that time is forgotten now, called The Freshman by the band The Verb Pipe. And that song came on while I was roller skating. And I just remember hearing that song and being like, I kind of want to do this. Mm-hmm. And then from then on, I really didn't look back much. I got deep into Nirvana. That really is what taught me how to play guitar. It's like watching Kurt Cobain play guitar. He does very simple stuff a lot of the time. And I remember watching a lot of live videos and figuring out a lot of stuff just from watching him play. Mm-hmm. And so that was really where it began. And then I joined a metal band because, of course.
Why not?
Of course, why not?
Yeah, of course. The logical next step. I joined a metal band, and it wasn't really me, but it was all the dudes I knew around me in high school, they didn't like the same kind of music as me. They were more into metal and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, I guess I'll do this because it's music and it's a thing I can do. So I started playing in a metal band, and I was in that for way too long. I should have gotten out of that way before I did, but I ended up meeting some friends that introduced me to emo and various bands Saves the Day, mm-hmm. and Jets to Brazil, Signing to Real Estate, that type of music. And I was just like, what is this? Mm-hmm. It just blew my mind. I didn't know a type of music like that existed.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, I love this music. And I never really, shied away from emo since then. I joined one of the most emo record labels I think there has ever been, Count Your Lucky Stars, mm-hmm. or at least as far as the revival goes.
Mm-hmm. Solid, simple. So you have this album coming up, Wish Me Well.
Yeah.
What can we expect from it? What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, there's not really a release date, or we don't know when we're gonna be able to put it out with the pandemic and everything. Mm-hmm. It's definitely a rocker. It's a lot bigger. I don't know if you guys got a chance to listen to it, but mm-hmm. Most of my other stuff is it's acoustic mostly. Mm-hmm. So having the full band on this record, we definitely utilized it better than we were before. A lot of the other full band stuff I did was just full band versions of old songs, mm-hmm.
Okay.
So for this, there was a whole new batch of songs that we wrote, from scratch with no starting point, like how we had the starting point with the old songs. Mm-hmm. This was just out of nothing. Mm.
Yeah.
And so it has a very different feeling to it for that reason, It's definitely a bigger sounding album. It's one of the only things I've done where I look at it and I don't cringe at anything that's happening. Everything that I recorded when I was a kid, and most musicians will tell you this, it's you listen back and you hear everything you did wrong. Mm-hmm. And that's all you hear,
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good. Improvement.
For sure.
Good to see. Always,
and then
yeah.
You've also got...
I basically shamed myself into getting better.
Oh, okay. If it works,
yeah,
I
if
guess.
That's what works, yeah. And then you've also got a 5-year release gap. Well, it could be possibly more. Why?
Why?
Well, a lot of it is just life getting in the way. Mm-hmm. I was in a really crappy, crazy car accident. Oh. That definitely stalled things. And that put me out of commission for a while. So there's stuff like that, and then just work-related things, and trying to balance being a full-grown adult and a musician. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
those two things are incredibly hard to balance, and there comes a crossroads where it feels like you have to choose a side. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I never did. I tried to do both of them at the same time. I always feel like I'm living a double life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when I was touring all the time. I would tour all the time, come home, and then just go to this menial job. Mm-hmm. And it just felt like two different lives, like the tour was all a dream. It always felt like that. And even now, like I still feel like I'm living a double life because I'll use like my lunch breaks at work to like do like, you know, interviews or like Zoom calls. Yeah. And everyone's at work's like, what is he doing in there? What is going on? Like,
yeah.
It's hard to explain this like, you know, indie world to like people around you that don't know about it. You know, it looks crazy to them.
No,
yeah, definitely, definitely.
Like to some people, like if you've got a song on YouTube, it's like, oh man, he's famous. He's on YouTube.
He's on. He's on the internet.
He's on there. Oh my god.
He's on the internet.
Crazy.
Or like my dad. My dad always says, "You're on the front page of YouTube," and it's just like his suggested things. It's not the actual.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on the front page of my YouTube too. I must be making shit ton of money. It's really nice living it up. So, can you tell me a little bit about your writing process for this record?
For this record, it was interesting. I had a lot of ideas where I would be writing, and I wouldn't be able to pull them off without like the band. So it was just like I'd have like a rough sketch of how I wanted it to sound in my head, but I was writing acoustic, you know, just by myself. So it's like, well, hope this works, you know, like. A lot of stuff just like there's a part on the record that starts acoustic and then it comes in with a clean guitar over it and then it becomes full band and it's just like this stepping stone up. And that doesn't make sense when it's just one person because you don't have the other steps.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of stuff like that where I was dreaming a bit bigger and trying to do things that were maybe even a little outside of my capability, which is, you know, how you grow, hopefully.
Definitely. All right. So can you tell me where your headspace was while creating this record?
Oh, for Wish Me Well. That's tough because it was written in such a long period of time. But it was definitely, there was a bad breakup there. I mean, everything is fine with it now. It was basically just like a run-of-the-mill breakup, but I was in a relationship for a very long time, like 7 years.
Oh.
So, you know, when you end something like that, there's a lot of things you got to deal with, you know, a lot to process. And this record is kind of like processing it in a negative way and a positive way.
Okay.
And it starts off more on like the negative side and ends up more on the positive side. Like that's like the journey of the record, you know, if you will. It's like two different kinds of Wish Me Wells, like Wish Me Well, Wish Me Happiness, and then the other kind of Wish Me Well, like a sassy, like Wish Me Well, I'm out, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So what band or artist influences do you think you can hear the most on this record?
Ooh, that's a good question. I really feel like there's a lot of Count Your Lucky Stars band's influence on this record specifically because I was around it so much and I saw bands like, you know, Annabelle. I joined Joie de Vie, you know. I played in Empire. So like all those bands that were like around me. I mean, I'm sure I saw them play around that time 50 times each. And I think that kind of bled into this a lot.
Yeah.
And there's always been a strange dance I've tried to do where I didn't know what to do with my poppier influences, you know? And I think I kind of finally figured out how to use it in this album. Because before it was just like, this is a completely poppy song, and this is the emo song, you know? And like, in this record, it's all of it combined in one song. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right. Sick. That's really cool. So this one should go like super, super fast. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this album in 3 words.
Okay. Big, sad, complete.
Oh,
Okay.
Complete. I like to complete it then. Ties everything
Big
together.
sad. It's the big sad complete.
All right.
Yeah. I like that.
So you've got a show of your own, and you and your guests take turns like covering songs or whatever. What was the idea behind that?
Bro.
Or whatever.
Or whatever. Picking up the guitar.
Whatever you got.
Yeah.
What?
What's that?
What was the idea behind that?
Yeah, so that's really, it's funny because I didn't mean to have a show. You know, it wasn't like I set out to have one. Mm-hmm. I started going live with my friends because I missed them, you know? And like, so I went live with like Retirement Party, like Rap Boys, and like friends that I just missed seeing them and missed hearing their music. Mm-hmm. So at first it was just kind of like, this is something I'm doing because, you know, it's helping me out and I just miss these people. Yeah. And as I started to do it, I started to reach out to more of my own like influences and people I hadn't met yet. Mm-hmm. And I was able to get like, you know, bigger artists like, you know, Bob Nana and Chris Connolly from Saves the Day. And like a bunch of artists that like I look up to. And then from there, it was just like, well, I guess this is a thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so it just kind of like happened naturally like that. And the idea to cover a song actually also happened organically because I had Mikey Erg from the Ergs on, and I know he's a really big fan of Elvis Costello. So I was going to play an Elvis Costello song. And I played one, and then he was like, well, check this out. And he played an Elvis Costello song too. Mm-hmm. And he didn't even plan it at all. And I was like, man, I should do this every single time. Every single time we will just have like artists that we both cover. Mm-hmm. So it just, everything with the show happened very organically, which is really nice.
I like that.
That is so cool. Yeah. I like that it all just kind of snowballed into, oh, wait, shoot, this can actually be something that I do.
I got a show now.
Yeah. Exactly. Whoops. Yeah. Whoops. Let's just look up and you have a show. That's sick. I love that.
Basically how it happened. It's so funny because like it wasn't like a lot of other things that I put so much effort into and so much time into, like the record have been so painstaking. Mm-hmm. And it's just funny to like just by chance have something else like that just happen, you know, with no intention.
Definitely.
And it's interesting because I had Chris Farron on last week, and he was talking about how it feels like everyone's life is less intentional. Mm-hmm. And I never thought about that, and it's very true. Everyone's life is a lot like less intentional now with everything being so up in the air. Yeah. It's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Just for the record, Gloria and I would have totally stolen the guitar cover idea if either of us had any musical talent at all.
Yeah, we can't do any of this. Yeah.
You should just do it anyways.
No.
That would
we would scare them away.
Glory did a couple times on our weekly episode, and then she never did it again.
Never again. I did it twice, and that was it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we lost viewers. It was really good.
That's amazing.
We lost viewers even though we just went live.
Yeah, but you definitely continue doing that, please, because it's super cool. I like when people do that. Yeah.
Thank you.
So for new listeners who haven't checked you out yet, what can people expect from your show? What are you guaranteed to have?
Okay. So the main goal of the show, I think, is to provide or to have some kind of new connection. You know, like, and the unique part is like me reaching out and meeting my like heroes. Yeah. You know, like you don't just tune into that. You know what I mean? Like that's a rare thing. Like people that I've listened to since I was, you know, a young kid, like going live with them and meeting them for the first time and getting to play my own songs for them.
Yeah,
is a crazy thing. So like, you can always expect some kind of like nerddom, like me nerding out, you know. Mm-hmm. I don't shy away from that. Mm-hmm. Even though like I want it to be like two friends talking, I still like can't help but, you know, be a fan as well. Definitely. And I don't want to like edit that. Mm-hmm. I want that to be a part of it, you know. So yeah, I think that's like the main thing you can expect, stuff like that. Nervousness, because every single time I've ever done it, it's like the most nerve-wracking thing because so much can go wrong on them. Oh my God. Like,
oh God.
Like the connection issue with Instagram sometimes is terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like for Instagram Live, I've been seeking out a new way of doing it. Like maybe through Zoom and then we're pre-recording it. Mm-hmm. Like I love the spontaneity of just going live with someone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then having everyone there. Yeah. I love that. That's like the idea of the show, but I don't want to lose that. But at the same time, I've had some real big issues with like losing people. Like Beach Bunny, I had Beach Bunny on Lily, and we lost her 3 or 4 times.
Damn.
Like her connection
man.
just wouldn't stick. And it was kind of like still like a fun thing. So we were like going through these problems together live. So it kind of just like brings you together with the person a little bit, which is fun. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want it to be that way.
Yeah.
I want a good solid connection, and I can't always guarantee it with Instagram Live.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
So what guests have you been most excited about to have on your show? Do you have like a couple that you're like, holy shit?
Yes.
What happened?
A lot of them. I have Into It Over It on next week. I'm really excited about that one. But I also, Chris Connolly was the biggest one from Saves the Day. I've been listening to his music, since I was like 17, 18, something like that. And he was one of the first like punk emo bands I ever heard, Saves the Day. So like, holy shit moment was definitely like having him on, and then maintaining like a friendship afterwards, because you tend to bond on stuff like that. So it's like, that one was a big one. There's other ones coming up I can't really talk about yet, but I have more artists coming on that were a big influence on me, and it's really exciting.
Very exciting.
All right. Solid.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So we know you don't even have a release date for this album yet, but do you have any new music projects that you're working on now? Like another album, an EP, couple singles, a cover? What are you doing?
Yeah, actually, it's awesome you brought that up. I have a split with an artist that I'm working on in the studio, and I love that I do these things and I can't tell people what's actually happening.
Okay.
But with this one, I can't, because there's labels and managers involved.
Oh, yeah.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
Scary stuff, yeah.
Yeah, but this artist, they're another artist that was such a big influence on me since I've been, a kid. So getting to do the split with them is going to be a really cool thing. I also did a split with Kind of Like Spitting for Top Shelf Records, and they were another band that man, I adored that band, and getting to put out music with them was an incredible thing.
Yeah. That's crazy. All right. Look forward to that split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the secret project.
Secret project.
Hush hush.
Hush hush.
So where do you see this project in the next 5 years?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know. It's funny because, with quarantine and with what's going on with the coronavirus, I don't think any of us know what we're doing in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
It's hard to even say what we're doing in the next, couple months, because things don't feel sustainable right now. Do you know what I mean? For anyone, it doesn't feel like the model, the digital model, is sustainable in a way that can last longer than maybe a couple more years, maybe just a year. At some point, it's just, I don't know, it feels like we've got to find a better way. But if this continues, there is no better way. So we're all in a very strange position where we don't know, what's going to be happening in the next few years. But I hope I'm still, continuing to play and connect with people and just, have fun doing it. Still have fun doing it,
For sure.
Yeah.
Music obviously is something that has picked me up off the ground more times than I can count. And this show, specifically this show, really, brought me out of my quarantine depression. It gave me something to focus on, it gave me something that I could put my energy towards, whereas I was totally lost at first.
All right. Solid. So for the last couple questions, we're going to shift away from your show and your music for a little bit. All right, sick. So we're going to go to death row for just a little bit. So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Ooh, okay. So this is going to be so goofy.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to try and do a loophole here.
Okay.
I want Olive Garden, unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks.
Oh my god.
We got that exact same.
We literally just got that today.
No way.
Yeah. Oh my god.
What
Great
kind of
minds
soup
think
you
alike.
get? What kind of soup you get?
They got it was like King's something. It
The
had like
Italian wedding soup.
Italian wedding
Oh,
soup.
yeah. Super Toscana. Super Toscana. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
a
what
big
they
Olive
got.
Garden.
Olive Garden's
So there's the Super Toscana. There's the minestrone. There's the chicken gnocchi.
Oh, that's the best one. Yeah.
And the minestrone. I already said that. Those are the soups that the Olive Garden has. That would be.
What's your drink to go with the soup?
Ooh, so at Olive Garden they have a thing called the Bellini tea. It's a peach raspberry iced tea. That's my number one drink.
Wonderful. You love to see it.
You love to see it.
Yeah. So, if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
One fictional world? Ooh. This is good. It's hard. So I keep wanting to say like shows that like I'm a big fan of, but I know the world would be terrible to live in. But maybe Twin Peaks.
Ooh, okay.
Like hang out with Dale Cooper, and like just like drink coffee with Dale Cooper, hang out and solve mysteries.
Hell yeah!
I think that's the answer.
Sick. All right. So I have the honor of asking the last question, and every single person we've spoken to has said it's the most important question.
Okay.
What's your favorite color?
You know what it is? I mean, and I'm wearing it right now, like an olive green. Yeah, olive green.
Taste.
Like, olive green or like forest green.
Yeah. Great greens.
That's my favorite color.
As it should. So as Gloria said, that is all the questions we have today. Is there anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah. So I don't know when this is gonna air.
Probably a month from now.
Oh, I have no idea what's gonna be going on now. Oh, no, that'll be gone. Everything I'm doing is like soon, and like I said, it's hard to like see past what you're doing in the moment. But I'm doing like the Rat Boys 25-hour telethon for Halloween, and that's gonna be like super awesome. So I'm pre-recording. Probably gonna dress up for that, and I'm pre-recording something for that. I have Into It Over It on Friday, but that'll be done. So by then, we should be looking at the split release, the secret split release, where I'm singing on this artist that I love's song, and they're singing on my song.
Oh.
So if you're watching this, you'll probably know who it is by now, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
or it's about to be released. Yeah.
That's where we're going to leave it. The secret split. Thank you for sitting down with us. This has been Warren Franklin, and we are the Good Noise Podcast.